Hello and welcome back to Speedrun, the official podcast of dropping money on video games that you may or may not need.
Yeah.
I, of course, am Jamie. Yeah? I am looking at my limited run copy of Shantae I bought yesterday. I am so proud to own it, and I'm in my wallet. This reminds me of the song As My Bank Account Gently Weeps.
Oh my god. And I am Jazzie.
Joining us again is Anya. Hi, Anya.
Hello.
Hello.
We just spent the past 10 minutes riffing on Popeye's biscuits, Burger King foot lettuce,
I will
Ohio.
have the listeners know, these two were slandering Popeyes. I am on the pro Popeyes bandwagon. There's slander happening here. There's heresy, I should say.
Look, we might be on the internet, but I respect that everyone's entitled to their own opinions, even if they're bad ones.
I'm going to call the Space Marines and tell them that there's heresy going on.
Yeah, who are you going to send after me? Doug Huggum?
Yeah. He's going to tell you in his deep bass baritone voice to reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Good, maybe they'll... no, I'm not going down that route.
We have a guest. The focus should not be on us tonight.
No, the focus instead is... Well, I mean, technically some of this involves me, but all of it involves you, Anya. Because we're talking about... And the title from my notes is Convention Culture from the Long Ago Pre-Pandemic Times. Let me tell you, some of this stuff was so long ago, it's from February of last year.
Oh my god.
Ancient. It was like a different culture.
It really was.
It was a different time.
It really was. Like, as I start the timer, like, I remember, like, literally, like, 2 weeks before the pandemic started, we did that panel with Trey, and as a thank you gift afterwards, he gave us those ooh-woo face masks. Because the virus was just a joke at that point.
Oh my gosh, nobody knew it was actually serious. Yeah.
I actually ended up unironically wearing that face mask for a bit.
Oh my gosh, me too.
And then I lost it on a bus.
Oh, that's so sad. Drop an F in the chat.
It's
F.
okay. You gave me another one. Thanks, Trey. Love you, man.
So
You unironically dropped an F in our chat. What?
unironically, you know what else I unironically did during the pandemic? Wore my fursuit head as a mask. Guess what worked? Wearing my fursuit head as a mask.
Yeah, I gotta ask though. Let's talk about convention culture. What do we miss and what don't we miss? I know none of us missed the con plague.
Oh god.
None of us missed the con plague.
None of us.
I don't think any of us missed con food.
You know, it depends. You know, Calgary. I went to a convention in Calgary, and the food that they had like actual like food vendors there. Like you could get real actual food. It's amazing because it was at the Calgary Stampede grounds, so they're used to people actually being there. It's not like TsukinoCon where it's UVic and people are like, oh yeah, right, you want to eat here, like that sucks. I mean, it was actually good food, so it really depends on the venue. But for the most part, con food, not good. The ramen noodles, not the best.
Honestly, I can only think of one con I've ever been to where I actually liked the food. And Retropalooza in Texas. Specifically, they do a few Retropaloozas. The one in Houston isn't even in Houston. It's in Pasadena, Texas, which has like a ship channel and what used to be industry. Kind of like Cleveland in that way. But
Hey, now, we're still kind of a port city. We send things across the lake sometimes.
where there used to be industry, right.
Where there used to be
but
industry. Our economy is based on LeBron James.
You can buy a house for the price of a VCR.
Who the fuck still uses a payphone?
But this con, one year they got an actual barbecue restaurant to cater.
Ooh.
So you could get, wouldn't just be getting your usual ramen, Frito pies and stuff. You could get real ass brisket in the middle of this convention hall.
Nice.
It's so good.
Awesome.
I'm just going to put this out here. I've actually never had a bad experience with convention food. Then again, most of the conventions I go to are either on the East Coast looking over the Atlantic or are in Chicago, where you can get any assortment of deep dish you want. And on the East Coast, all the seafood you want. And it's all so good. But granted, if you're going to something like Shimboku-con, which is in the middle of the sticks of Ohio, yeah, it's going to be bad.
Well, specifically, we're talking about the food at the cons themselves. Like, if we're talking like eating in and around Victoria, like remember last year, Anya, where we went to that really nice Mexican restaurant and got churros?
That was we've got so many churros. It was so good.
Yeah, that's my buddy Joel's place. He does a good job.
Yeah.
But I guess the thing I really miss, so more than vendors, though I do like haggling with vendors when it comes to game cons.
Oh, you're one of those crusties.
Let me tell you, I'm not paying eBay prices at a convention.
You scuzzbag. And also, that's the correct move.
Look, I'm not asking for a major discount. All I'm saying is that if you made the point of bringing it out here, don't try to charge more than what it's worth. You know, if you're selling if you're at a con and a game's worth I don't know, $110, price it at $100, because at that point at least someone can pay just using 20s.
Yeah, that's fair. And you don't have to make change or anything.
Yeah, but the thing I miss the most is panels.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And Anya, we actually did a few. But first, do you have any of your own panel stories you'd like to tell, or just con interaction stories you'd like to tell? This is a safe spot where we can tell these stories.
It's true.
A safe space.
It is.
Are we talking like, so con interactions? Are we talking like bad ones or good ones, or
whatever you're feeling?
Whatever I'm feeling. Well, I feel like talking about crotch kick guy.
What?
Excuse me?
So this one is a classic from my channel. There was this guy who was dressed as Naruto, and I was just hanging out waiting for a friend, and this man comes up to me and is like, he's asking me like, hey, I was cosplaying Meg at the time, and he's like, hey, are you Esmeralda? And I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm Meg. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. I really want someone to kick me in the crotch.
Oh, what? What?
Like, literally, he was talking about how he went to a panel and he's like, yeah, I just really want somebody to kick me in the crotch. So I went to this panel and they had a Q&A portion of the panel, and I asked them on the panel if they could kick me in the crotch, and they said no. You know, I just really want to experience it and see what it's like. I also want to experience what childbirth feels like, but I can't do that. So I have to settle for being kicked in the crotch.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So much just happened.
Sounds like Comic-Con's turned into CBT Con.
I was going to say,
right?
That sounds like a normal Saturday night at the club I frequent. What the I almost had to make an editing mark. I stopped myself. I'm very proud of myself. Listeners at home, can you please applaud me for not dropping the F word?
Good job.
Oh my god. I need aftercare. That was so much to handle. That story violated me.
That guy seems kind of ballsy.
Hey,
Jamie. Oh my god. What on earth? Okay, so like having, being into stuff, cool, whatever. I support it. But asking random people in the middle of a convention where there's like kids running around, it's kind of sus.
It is kind of sus. And he did the same thing to other people, including one of my friends who looks very young.
Oh,
God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Yeah. He went up to her and was like, yeah, I want somebody to kick me in the crotch. And she's like, bruh.
Bruh.
Stop it.
Bruh.
So what you're telling me is that this person was a Discord moderator. Got them!
Yeah, I'm at the con trying to find my kitten.
Oh God, ew, stop. Let's move on,
Oh,
please.
no.
Fuck. Oh, I said it! Man, can we let one slip?
Sure, why not?
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry, corporate sponsors. I still love you.
I mean, it's fine. I think we're allowed, like, one.
We'll see. We'll see. It's just getting nasty. No, I'm not going to make that joke, actually.
We're just going to get nasty emails from all the viewers. I thought this was a good, wholesome Christian podcast.
Not on my good pagan podcast.
But, Anya, so I tell the panel story about Weird Panel Guy.
Absolutely. Please do.
So, we were trying to make this a yearly thing, and then the Rona happened, but at Capital City Comic Con, yes, that's CCCC, not to be confused with the CCCP, which is defunct.
F in the chat, please.
Yes, an F in the chat for the Soviet Union. No.
F in the chat for the USSR.
But we were at Cap City Con, and we do a panel every year just on YouTubing, right? Because like Trey edits for a variety of YouTubers. I mean, he edits for me now as well. And then we do the YouTube thing, and we all do like different things on our own channels. So we're like, oh, this is a good chance to talk about experiences and field questions. And I was surprised because like the last time we did it, it was like half full, like 5 minutes till, and then by the time it started, it was actually packed.
Yeah.
Which I was not. But there's this one guy, and I could tell. How do I put it? He was a very enthusiastic fan of you and what you do.
Yes.
As in, like, when people would be asking questions, like, about, like, hey, what's the best way to, like, schedule things? Or what's the best way to, make sure that if I'm doing, cosplay-related content, I just don't fall into a sea of it. He just come up and ask a question that would just be some sort of channel reference to you.
Yeah, like the Carmen Sandiego thing.
Yeah, and everyone was just looking and was like, bruh.
So for those uninitiated, can you please explain the Carmen Sandiego reference?
Of course, I would love to. So
wonderful.
He was cosplaying Chase Deveneaux from the Netflix reboot of Carmen Sandiego. For reference, I've cosplayed the Netflix version of Carmen Sandiego, and he apparently really likes this cosplay. So he was cosplaying like this character from the show who's basically trying to pursue her and trying to get her arrested the entire show.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And so halfway through the panel, he stands up and in this terrible attempt at a French accent, he's like, Carmen Sandiego, I have found you. Like, what did you do to the Magna Carta? And I'm like,
oh no.
And I'm just sitting there like, oh my god. For reference, I wasn't cosplaying her in the panel.
You weren't even doing cosplay.
Oh,
like,
I wasn't even cosplaying.
Like if I remember, was this the panel we did where like your voice was still recovering from a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were taking it easy, right? As easy as you can for a panel.
Exactly, right? Like I wasn't even in cosplay, and so he's like, what did you do to the Magna Carta? And I'm like, oh, I threw it in the Inner Harbor. Just trying to get him to stop, and he's like, "Oh, sacre bleu, blah blah." And then he looks at everyone in the panel. He's like, "Oh, by the way, like she did this Carmen Sandiego cosplay, and it was really good. You should totally check it out." And I'm just like sitting there, like, "Why is this happening?"
Oh God.
So later on, and I should mention, this was pre-transition Jamie. This was back when I was still rocking my dysphoria beard.
Those were the egg years.
Yeah, the egg years, the denial years.
I was trying to mix that into like, how do I combine the art of failure, some of your best work, with the term egg? It's like, egg of failure? No, that's mean. The art of egg? There it is.
I guess you could say I was an egg man.
Get the fuck. Damn it! I was trying to say GTFO, now I have to edit more.
But the thing is that, we've always been very, shall we say, accepting progressive folks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And someone was like, "Oh, well, what's your thoughts on diversity on YouTube?" And I think all of us basically said we want more of it.
Yeah.
Especially from queer creators, because I think, was this the one where I literally said I can count the number, and it's changed since then, thankfully. I was like, I can count the number of queer creators I know of on one hand.
Yeah.
And this guy just comes up and very pissed off, just up to me, and you were talking with someone else, and he's like, don't you think diversity on the internet is a bit of a double-edged sword? And I was like, no? That was my response. I just got his tail. I was like, no. And I just kind of looked at him that face? You look at someone where you're like, are you for real? What subreddit did you stumble off of?
I was about to say, it sounds like a Redditor.
The guy was just missing a fedora.
It's true. He was missing a fedora. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Bring it back up. And do you have a wholesome con memory though?
I do. Yeah. Okay. Let me think. Yes. So I was cosplaying Incredibles 2 Elastigirl, so in the silver suit. And I was hanging out in Canada Place. Was it Canada Place? Do you call? I don't think you call the place with the torch Canada Place. So it was not Canada Place. It was the Olympic torch.
I thought Canada Place was just the place with the white roofs.
It's actually Timmy's.
Yeah, it's just the Tim Hortons. Yeah, we were just hanging out at Tim Hortons parking lot,
Oh, don't you know?
Oh, don't you know?
I absolutely...
Yeah, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, Canada Place is the place with the white roofs, and then the Olympic torch is the Olympic cauldron, I think they call it, actually, because they're fancy. It's a different place.
Ooh.
Anyway, wait, were you going to say something?
Oh, no, just
it was
fancy.
There's a stupid quip.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. All right, so I was by the Olympic cauldron, because we're fancy, and I was taking photos with a friend, and this family of little kids comes up to me, and they're like, "Hi, Elastigirl," and I'm totally ready to be in character. I'm like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And they're like, "We like your new suit." And we had this really wholesome conversation where we just talked about Incredibles together. There was about 3 of them, and they were of various ages. I think the oldest one was probably 8 or so, and the youngest was maybe 5-ish. So they were really small. And at one point, the youngest one takes my arm and starts pulling on it, and I'm like, what is he doing? And he's like, "You have to stretch. It's your superpower."
Oh no!
It was.
Oh.
It was so cute. I managed to distract him with another part of the conversation. I brought something else up, so that it wouldn't be "Oh, you can't stretch," right? But they thought that I was actually her, and we had this really heartwarming conversation where we just talked about Incredibles, and it was really nice.
That's so wholesome. I really love that. I love everything about that.
Isn't it good? Isn't it so much better than Panel Guy?
That gives me so much life.
Right? Panel Guy killed me a bit inside, but this brought it back. It's like when my nephew calls me every week to be like, "Aunt Jamie, you want to talk about Pokemon?"
Oh, so cute.
Actually, if you want, I can tell a small story about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was actually in Vancouver a few weeks back for immigration reasons. Hopefully I'll be going back soon because I need a change of scenery for a weekend. But while I was there, I randomly stopped by Metrotown, picked up a copy of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu for my nephew, who recently got a Nintendo Switch. And it's apparently his favorite video game ever now. But one of his favorite things to do is whenever people ask where he got it, he said, "Oh, I got this from my really cool Aunt Jamie. She's a YouTuber, and also she's really old because she was born in the 90s. And that's how he always describes me.
That's so mean. Oh my god.
Like, he's a 5-year-old. He's not intending it to be mean, you know?
No, that's hilarious. Oh
That's so funny.
She's really old.
She was born in the
cannot.
90s.
Oh my gosh. I cannot.
So what I'm saying with this is I'm officially old, so Denny's, do you want to sponsor us? Send me some senior special coupons.
Listen, I'm telling you, I feel betrayed. The Denny's around us are no longer 24-hour.
Oh no.
Oh, that's horrible.
Of all the things that were taken from us. Denny's. F, please.
Honestly, Victoria has been so... Yeah, I'll drop an F. Yeah, I'll toast to that, y'all. I actually just like clinked my... I don't know why, because it's off. I just clinked my water glass against my webcam.
I'll drink to that. And just clinking my black coffee against a prayer candle.
Yeah, I'll clink to that, y'all. That said, Anya, where can people find you on the internet, follow you for updates, even give you money?
Even give me money. Wow.
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 Wah!
You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at THE_ANYAPANDA, or at youtube.com or youtube.com/AnyaPanda. Yeah, we're so cool. We can just do the slash. Wow, that's so cool.
Ooh.
Or patreon.com/AnyaPanda.
Excellent. And of course, Speedrun is a part of Stuff We Play. You can watch our videos at youtube.com/StuffWePlay, or give us money for as low as $1 a month to get access to podcast episodes a week early, some behind the scenes and early videos. And also, my fiance wanted me to remind y'all that yes, that includes full-length interview clips from the Art of Failure documentary series for as low as $1 a month. So that's patreon.com/StuffWePlay. And we are also made possible in part by Podbean. Get some paid podcast hosting of your own by going to podbean.com/speedrun or using the code speedrun at checkout. If you have ideas for future episodes, you can message me at jamie@stuffweplay.com, jazzie@stuffweplay.com. And speaking of you, Jazzie, you edit this.
I do. ClevelandAudioMixology.com is the place to go where you can throw money at me, where I'll edit your podcast, which you can put up on Podbean. I'll let you do that one.
I don't know. I feel like an air horn is a bit of a double-edged sword.
Oh, get out. Get out.
Here, I can find another meme. I mean, do you want me to quote number 15 again?
No. I want you to talk about Podbean, our incredible sponsor, where you can get your own paid podcast hosting service, preferably edited by me, but you know what I'm saying.
Not everyone can be that cool.
Not everyone can be that cool, but you can be cool enough to join Podbean with our link. Jamie, what's the link?
Podbean.com/speedrun.
Podbean.com/speedrun, where you can kick back a little love to, help us out, while also getting your new podcasting career off the ground, where you can get statistics in any possible format you could want. You can get all sorts of cool insights and metrics, or you can tailor your podcast for a truly global audience. If you want to try it out, there's also a free option. How about them apples? How did I get tied up into doing this advert?
I don't know. I was just going to ask you to plug where people can find you, but yes, ClevelandAudioMixology.com. And remember as well, it's the middle of summer, and if you leave your dog in a hot car, I will find you, and I will give you all of my hate.
Oh. That being said, I've been Jazzie.
And I've been Jamie. Once again, thankful that it is no longer 40 degrees here in Canada.
Celsius.
Indeed.
Celsius. Yeah, I tell it to everyone. They're like, oh, it's like, oh, Canada gets real cold, don't it? I'm like, oh, Canada's real smart not using frickin' Fahrenheit, aren't we? I don't know where I'm going with that.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you.
Thank you for joining us. Next time. Anya, thank you for joining us and putting up with us.
Of course, anytime.
Oh gosh, we're professionals, I promise.
We're professionals.
See you next time.
I promise we're professionals.
Bye.